get on over to college hoops. And, look, where we're at right now, it's a great spot for the people that are coming over slowly but surely. It's college hoop season, February 13th, Julian. And it's always a good little question to toss out there to get people going here. As we pull up DraftKings odds, I'm curious in your mind, because we went through this exercise last week, Sam. Julian, how many teams in your mind could you see cutting down the nets at the beginning of April and going on that 6-game win streak, what it takes to win a national championship? Knowing what we know right now, February 13th, here we stand, a lot of good teams out there, but how many in Julian Edlow's mind do you think could actually win it all this year?
Oh, it's a great question. I just pulled up the board to kind of narrow it down. Duke, yes. Auburn, Bama, Houston, Florida, Iowa State. Those are the top 6 on the board. I agree. All 6 of those teams can do it.
Okay.
I think that's kind of the line where you start to get maybes after that line for me. Next is Tennessee at 17-1. I don't think they could ultimately get there. They're a very good team. St. John's is 30-1. I used some bonus bets the other day on St. John's 40-1, but I don't think they can actually win it. Like, this is something that I do every year. You get some bonus bets on your account or an odds boost or whatever. I took some cracks on St. John's 40-1 and said, that team's playing. And of course they lost it at Nova last night. I think they can make like an Elite 8, maybe Final 4 if the bracket falls right type of run. And then you can start buying off of it in certain ways if you like it. Or maybe it's a year where they get to the Elite 8 and a team like FAU from the other years is sitting there and you're like, oh, wow, now I'm in a really good spot. Like, I think that these bets are much better when we see the bracket. But I think there's stuff to be done. So, there's 6 teams that I would say are capable right now. Obviously, that's a small list. I think it goes beyond that. But there are other teams, St. John's being an example, that I think are worth betting on.
Yeah, once you get the bracket and the path, then you could possibly start talking yourself into a Michigan State team, possibly UConn. Is UConn on your mind at all? No, done.
They got me good the other night in Creighton. I thought that was a good spot to live bet Creighton. I got them like plus 190 with 8 minutes left, down 5 at home. They were in the bonus, and they hadn't committed a foul yet. I thought that was a great spot. Didn't quite get there. UConn snuck it out, but I don't think this UConn team has it this year anywhere close to years past. I don't think this is going to be something where they turn it on in March. I am waiting for the right spot actually in March to go against UConn, I would say.
All right. Good stuff there. Let's talk about some action going on tonight. Sam Ostry is a proud Terp. So this is going to hit home here, Julian. I believe Mr. Edlow from DraftKings Sportsbook, Sam, is saying Cornhuskers money line. Am I putting words in your mouth tonight, Julian? Where do you stand on this one?
You're not putting words in my mouth. That is where I'm going. I'll preface this by saying I like this Maryland team. And they're another team. I'm trying to find their odds right now. 65-1. Like, that's one like St. John's.
I have that ticket.
I don't mind that. I think this team is good. They can make a run. But again, I thought that about St. John's. College basketball is all about spots, and they go down to Nova last night. Who's the better team? St. John's. But it's hard to win these road games and keep these winning streaks going.
True.
Nebraska had lost like 6 or 7 in a row, but they have turned it around. They're playing much better basketball lately. One of those losses during that streak, they went to Maryland, lost by 3. I think Derek Queen had like 3 points. They did I'm not expecting that again, but they did a good job of taking away Maryland's size advantage in that game. So this is a team that, a little bit of revenge for that narrow loss at Maryland. They've been rolling at home lately. I will go Nebraska on the money line here, taking, the short home favorite that is not the more talented team, but probably in the better spot.
3 weeks ago, I probably would have been like hammer Nebraska. It's a great position to be in. But because at that point, Kevin Willard in Big Ten road games was 4-20. But then Maryland went on the road and dominated Illinois by 21. And they just escape Indiana on the road. So they've kind of figured out how to win on the road in the Big Ten, which is why I'm not always fade Maryland on the road anymore. I know the number says to take Nebraska, but I'm probably just not going to touch it because I'll be watching and have an emotional investment. But I can't blame anyone for taking Nebraska. But this isn't a Maryland team that's just automatic loss on the road anymore.
All right, Julian, last one. Let's go ahead and get on over to Saturday's card. We always know college hoops is front and center on a Saturday for us, even more so this Saturday with the Iron Bowl going off. Did they call that in college hoops Iron Bowl? I don't know. Anyways, Auburn and Alabama, 1.5. Bama dogs at home, 172.5. I'm having a hard time really figuring out the SEC. One day I pick one team, then they score 44 on the road against Tennessee. The next week they go off and they drop 96 and they beat Auburn in Auburn, right? Of course, I'm talking about Florida in that one. So,
well, here's a stat for you real quick. SEC.
Don't say 500.
82 and 82.
I'm going to tackle you. All right. Yes, exactly. And how about Carl Ravitch?
He tried to defend it.
Yeah, he did. He got caught. All right. So, Julian, here's the deal. With this one, Auburn, 1.5 favorite on the road. 172.5 is our total. 4:00 tip. All eyes will be on this one. DraftKings already with the early number here. Got to love that. Big game. Where you at in this one, sir?
Yeah, I think we are first to market on this one. Good timing. It just came up. I do not see it offered at any other sports book. So immediately I pulled up the splits, which are available on DraftKings Network. 44% of the bets for 54% of the money, Auburn on the spread, but money line, 60% of the bets, 88% of the money, Bama. You're paying some heavy juice on the 1.5. So I'm just going Bama minus 102 money line. One of my favorite plays so far this college basketball season. I like Alabama at home here. Alabama has been spot proof. Like we're talking about Maryland, Nebraska, like this spot, that spot, erase spots for Alabama. Like they've been money. Whereas these Auburn teams, like Auburn just got smoked by Florida. They struggled for a bit with Vandy before they pulled away. They're a very good team. I think they're overpriced in the market in terms of to win it all, to win the SEC, like just in general. They've had some slow finishes under Bruce Pearl, and I don't know what you want to qualify as a slow finish for Auburn, but I think they're going to be gettable this last month or so of the season. Number 1 at number 2 in Tuscaloosa, Saturday game. Like that's going to be a tough atmosphere. Alabama has 2 of everything. Like they got 2 bigs, 2 point guards, 2 wings at every position. Like they are deep and good and talented. A team I was really high on preseason and have a lot of futures on. Probably my most heavily invested, we'll say, futures squad. So Bama Saturday afternoon, that's going to be a big one for me. Roll Tide.
Love it. As always, back in Bama, no surprise there on that one, Julian Edlow.
That's kind of my brand.